Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Multiplex Movie Melee. We are here with a teams match. Two teams that we saw debut earlier in the year, now back for their second match after getting a win. We have Judgement City, made up of Kaleb Boatman and Jeremy Adams, versus Law Deal, made up of Scott Harvey and Jacoby Bancroft. Both teams playing quite well in their first match. I'm very excited to see what we've got in this one. With me on the desk, we've got Mr. Bill Carriola. Bill, thoughts on these teams, thoughts on the match, thoughts on both of these names having something to do with the justice system?
I never thought of it that way. Actually, you're correct. But yeah, this is easy. This could be a title picture one day. I could see these two teams both playing for a title. So this is like a marquee match that we're getting for both teams' second match of just four superior players. This is some good old-fashioned clean fun here. And I think we're all going to enjoy this one.
Absolutely. Well, with that being said, we will bring in our first team today, being Law Deal, Jacoby, and Scott, and their manager, Kirk. Guys, you played, I want to say you guys played Shampoo is Better in your debut. Is that their team name? Yeah, you guys played them. Had a decent showing, managed to pull out the win. Thoughts on moving forward into this match? Thoughts on your new opponents? Are you taking them more seriously than the team named after the cinematic masterpiece, Billy Madison?
Scott, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'd say listen, there's a lot to be excited about in the Phoenix Club this year. One of the things I'm most excited, though, is this team. Really excited, obviously, to have Jacoby back home where he belongs. And, getting Scott a partner has kind of been a revolving door for him. But we found somebody I think he's going to really mesh well with. That last match was, I think, just about kicking off the rust and, working some things out. I think the future is bright with this. Scott has been on several teams that have gone a lot farther and achieved a lot more than, people I think thought they could. And I don't see any reason why that won't continue.
Yeah, the wheel saved us in our last match. It's not going to save us today, I don't think, because of the quality of player that we're getting, that we're going against. But yeah, like Bill said, this is exciting to get to play against a team, as strong as they are, that probably will be playing for titles in our second match.
Absolutely.
Nope, go ahead. Sorry.
I would say I'm so excited to play them. Both Jeremy and Boatman, they're like legends. They're like the best of the best. And right. So it's just like, it's really cool to be playing them. It's very scary at the same time. So I mean, but that's what makes this all super fun, right? So
the big question is, you guys have beaten Shampoo is Better. Do you change your name to Conditioner is Better?
we had lengthy discussions. We should have been studying when we were actually going over that question too much. So we'll see if that burns us in this match.
All right. Well, we will send Kirk back. We will bring in your opponents for today's match: Judgement City, Kaleb Boatman, Jeremy Adams. Guys, you had, some would say, a very strong, maybe dominant match in your first match, winning by TKO, if I'm not mistaken, against the team of Fincher. I hardly know her. Thoughts on how things are changing with this new match with these new opponents? Are you taking them more seriously than the team whose name is maybe a little risque by Melee standards?
I mean, I have learned you take every match seriously. That is the truth of the matter. Is you don't play this long without realizing you have to take every match seriously. There are some matches where you maybe push yourself to one extent, whereas other matches you are like, okay, well, I need to just make sure I'm rest and relax. But that's not even about the competitors. That's just more about what are you needing to do in order to do well in this match. And I think this is going to be a good matchup. Scott and Jacoby are, of course, great players. I don't think they necessarily played how they wanted to play in their first match, but I think that makes them a little scarier because they want to improve. But I think, we want to improve. That's the thing, is we had a good match, but I don't think we were just sitting there being like, okay, we're never going to get better than this. It's like, no, that was our first match. We're going to try to improve.
Yeah, I think we're all experienced players here, and I'm really honored, as the other team is, to be playing people like who we're playing today, or just are great players, a lot of experience. But though we're experienced players, we're new teams, so there's always kind of that growth and the chemistry that you got to get going. And I think we felt, we had a great match. first off, but I think we're just going to get better as we go and fine tune. And we got some awesome players to play against to try to get that going today. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's do this.
Well, with that, we are going to get into round number 1 of tonight's match. Round number 1 is going to work like this. It is our whiteboard round. You will get 8 different questions in 8 different categories in the realm of general movies. You'll have about 15 to 20 seconds to write your answer down on your board. If you get a question right, you will get a point. If you get the question wrong, you will not get a point. If you manage to get all 8 questions correct at the end of the round, you will be given a bonus question, also worth 1 point. A reminder to all competitors that you have 3 repeats and a challenge to use throughout the match per team, as well as a reminder to keep both hands on screen, although I'm sure all of you know that by now. If you didn't, what's going on? So with that being said, your first question this evening will come in the category of comedy. Name both performers who play the engaged couple in the 5-year engagement.
It's a hefty time to be engaged.
Yeah, I've been having those conversations recently, and we're very much like, a year is kind of the median ground, give or take a couple months, but anything more than that, that's
me and
too
fiance
much.
Knowles are on 2, but
Right.
in our defense, the world's been on fire.
3, 2,
So.
1. Pens down. We'll go to Boatman.
Jason Segel and Emily Blunt.
And Jacoby.
Jason Segel and Emily Blunt.
And Jeremy.
Emily Blunt, Jason Segel.
And Scott.
Emily Blunt and Jason Segel.
All correct on the first question as we get to question number 2.
Which come into the category of war. What is it good for? In Full Metal Jacket, Private Joker gets what job in the military after basic training? You do basic training? You ever did that?
I did basic training for things that weren't the military. I did basic training to be a teacher. And they're basically like, hey, don't be a dick to kids.
Yeah. See, me,
and then a lot
I
of teachers still do that.
I complain when I have to reach for shit, so I'm definitely not cut out for basic training.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Jacoby.
I said photographer.
And we'll go to Jeremy.
Photographer.
And Scott.
I'm wrong. I said medic.
And Boatman.
I said journalist.
Journalist is correct.
Yeah.
Journalist or
dang it.
reporter is the correct answer. So with that, Boatman, the only one getting that correct as we get to question number 3. In the category of crime, what 70s crime film focuses on a street gang that tries to return to their home turf after being framed for murdering a respected gang leader? You ever been in a gang, Bill?
I was just going to ask, if you were to start a gang, what would your color be?
Oh, purple.
Mine would be puce.
Why let the Bloods and the Crips fight when we can combine the two?
I see what you're doing, but puce is a good kind of neutral kind of color. Or gourd. Gourd is a good color.
5, 4, puce. 3, 2,
Say
1.
the word.
Pens down. We'll go to Jeremy.
Come out and play the Warriors.
And Scott.
The Warriors.
And Boatman.
The Warriors.
And Jacoby.
The Warriors.
All correct.
As we get into your next question, which is in the category of drama, who plays Joanna's father, Matt Drayton, in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? So this is a screwball comedy, right? If I remember right.
I don't know if you can fully classify it as. It has like some elements, but I think it's dealing with far too serious of a subject to be considered that.
I actually don't know what this movie is.
It's about racism, Bill.
Oh, so
5,
most of movies before 1980.
2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Scott.
Spencer Tracy.
And Boatman.
Spencer Tracy.
And Jacoby.
Spencer Tracy.
And Jeremy.
Spencer Tracy.
All correct. As we get to your 5th question, the category of directors, and the question is simply, who directed Sideways? Now, certain people that
Hmm.
I consider to be friends of mine
Okay.
say that this movie is great. And to them I say, why?
I mean, if you like watching horrible people be horrible, it's awesome.
I watched this movie whilst overheating in a metal box.
Fair.
Four.
There's one person in particular I like to punch right in the head several times in this film.
One. Hands down will go up to Boatman.
Alexander Payne.
And Jacoby.
Alexander Payne.
And Jeremy.
Alexander Payne.
And Scott.
Alexander Payne.
All correct.
All right, so we get into your next question, which is an action adventure. In True Lies, what is Harry Tasker's day job when he isn't counteracting terrorism?
Specific?
We will take a general answer.
We will look at general. Now, this is a movie right here. This is good stuff. So, but to piggyback off the last one, it's Thomas Hayden Church, right in the face. Right in the face. Just an
That's
awful
fair.
friend. Yeah,
You know,
awful friend.
you ever see him in Spider-Man 3?
Yeah, which is an overhated movie, but it's still not good.
5. 4. I don't totally disagree with you. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Jacoby on this one.
I always forget accountants.
And Jeremy.
Computer salesman.
And Scott.
I didn't get it.
And Boatman.
Salesman.
Salesman, specifically a computer salesman, is correct. So Judgment City widening their lead. It is now 11-8. So we get into your 7th question of the round, which comes in the category of horror. What 80s horror film takes place in the fictional small coastal town of Antonio Bay? You know,
No,
if
I
there's
don't want to.
Go ahead.
No, please. I was going to make a.
I was going to say, if there's two things I love and I'm deeply invested in, it's the 1980s and horror.
Just like I am with any decade of musicals.
Bill, we got to get like an 80s horror musical so we can be friends. 5.
I feel like one
4,
exists. I will find it
3,
for you.
2. What? That movie is Little Shop of Horrors, actually. Pens
Fair
down.
enough.
We'll go to Jeremy.
The Fog.
And Scott.
I said The Lost Boys.
And Jacoby.
I was like, I know it's a John Carpenter movie, but I went the wrong one.
I was supposed to go to Boatman before I went to Jacoby.
Thought you were gonna go to me. The Fog.
The Fog is correct. The lead widening as we get to question number 8 in round number 1. Boatman is still perfect. I am legally required to mention it.
I wasn't gonna, so I'm glad you did because I don't like to jinx things. So, final category: scores and soundtracks. Who composed the scores for Ed Wood, Panic Room, and Hugo? Ooh. I will say, just to go off the last one, The Fog, really boring movie.
I agree. People seem to really like it, and I don't.
I got a lot
get
of shit for that. I'm like, I fell asleep twice.
I've been
Nothing
80s
happened.
Carpenter for one of like the first times I ever deeply studied strengths, and I was so bored with The Fog, especially between They Live and Starman and all those. 5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Scott,
Danny Elfman.
and we'll go to Jeremy,
Howard Shore.
and we'll go to Jacoby.
I also said Danny Elfman, so that's
And for the perfect round, Mr. Kaleb Boatman.
Howard Shore.
yeah.
Howard Shore is correct. So with that, Kaleb Boatman getting the perfect round. So Boatman, you will be issued a bonus question worth 1 point. It is only to you. You do not need to write it down. You can just say your answer out loud. So your bonus question is, in Apocalypse Now, which character said the quote, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning"?
Lieutenant Kilgore.
And that is correct for the true
Good job,
perfect
kid.
round.
I didn't
So,
know if it is his first name, but I think it's Bill.
it is William, yes.
Okay.
We would have
cool.
just accepted Kilgore. That was all we needed. So with
Fair.
that, I have Judgment City at 16, Law Deal at 8. Is that what you have, Bill?
That is what I have.
All right, then we will get into round number 2. Round number 2 is going to be our wheel round, and I made a wheel, and I'm sharing it right now because I forgot to put it backstage before the match started. We are going to bring up the lovely wheel from wheeldecide.com. Our wheel has 8 different categories on it, as well as spinners and opponent's choice. Our competitors in the lead, in this case, Judgment City, will get to choose whether they would like to spin first or defer. Whichever team spins, if they like what they get on their first spin, they can keep it, or they can choose to spin again, although they cannot spin again if they land on opponent's choice. Whatever category they end up with, they will get 5 questions worth 2 points apiece, or they can go to multiple choice for 1 point. But a reminder that stealing is available, so your opponents can take those points if you get your question wrong. Your categories on the wheel today are Frank Capra, Greta Gerwig, musicals, 1990s, classics, recent releases, 2010s, and comedy. And of course, spinners and opponent's choice are also on there. Judgment City, you are in the lead. Would you like to spin first or defer?
I think we'll defer, right, Jeremy?
Yep, sounds good.
And we'll let Law Deal go first.
Deal. We will bring in your manager, the letter K.
Scott, we scored a better round one than last time. We're on the up and up.
Is away.
Yeah.
No worries, guys. Look forward.
And you land on Greta Gerwig. Would you like to keep that or spin again?
That's good.
We should probably take
Maybe
that.
we could try to give them something approaching a challenge with this. So I guess we can keep it.
All right.
Yeah.
Shocking. Can't believe this is the decision that was made. I thought there was going to be more debate. I will take the questions in Greta Gerwig because I feel like Bill just wouldn't like these movies very much. So with that, your first question, Law Deal. The end of Mistress America is set during what holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Thanksgiving, final answer.
That is correct for 2 points, although how dare you not specify that it's not Canadian Thanksgiving.
It's a Canadian thing.
Number 2, it is a different holiday, yes. Who directed House of the Devil?
It's Ty West.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. It's a cool movie, too. Ty West, final answer.
That's correct for 2 points. In To Rome with Love, which character's segment does Gerwig's Sally appear in? And we just need first name.
Okay, it's Alec Baldwin's character. I believe his name is Jack. Or am I just thinking of that because of 30 Rock?
30 Rock. I'm not sure. It depends if you want to swing for it.
4.
Multiple choice.
3. 2. All right, your multiple choice options are A, Antonio, B, Haley, C, John, or D, Leopoldo.
Okay, I was thinking it could be John also. So, John, final answer.
That is correct. Really thought Jack might have been close to Leopoldo, but sadly...
Jack is short for John sometimes.
Your fourth question. How long after JFK's assassination does Jackie begin?
It's like a few days after, right?
I don't
or
know the
is it
specific
immediately
number.
after?
I think we're going to have to go to multiple choice.
Yeah, probably.
Multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice options are A, 1 day, B, 2 days, C, 1 week, or D, 2 weeks.
I haven't seen this in a long time. What?
I thought it was I thought it was days after.
Okay.
So
2
it's either
days,
1 day
maybe?
or 2 days.
All right, 2 days. Final answer.
That is incorrect. Judgment City for the 1 point steal. Is it A, 1 day, B, 2 days, C, 1 week, or D, 2 weeks?
I'm not.
Beat on this, given.
So I'm not sure. Here's the thing I'm trying to think of: if the stuff with the reporter is later, or if the movie opens with that. You want to say 1 day because they were thinking.
Sure. Yeah.
2.
A, final
Okay, fine.
That is also incorrect. Looking for 1 week.
All right.
Ah, suckers fooled you.
And your final question. What does Eliza major in the Meyerowitz stories?
I think I want. Okay, Jacoby, she's not credited in this movie, so I'm pretty sure that this would be challenge worthy. But I think we need to answer the question first, I guess.
Sure. Do you remember what you majored in? It's something weird.
Film. Final answer.
That is correct for
She
2
makes film.
points.
Jeremy, do you
Ignore what we just said. Ignore what we just said. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. I didn't think she was. I wasn't sure that she was uncredited. I couldn't remember, but I said,
Yeah.
You want to go for it? Or
You
well,
can
are
still
we
get
allowed
the KO.
Because if we had a manager here, that manager would be allowed to look up if she was uncredited. So are we allowed to?
I don't believe I can allow you to do that.
So that's fine. Do you want to go for it?
Well, maybe we should just save the challenge in case something comes up in our round.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right, no challenge. So
Bold
with
choice.
that, at the end of Law Deal's turn, I have them getting up to 15. Judgment City still at 16. Is that what you have, Bill?
That's what I have.
All right, so we'll bring up the wheel for Judgment City's first spin. And you land on Spinner's Choice. Do you need a reminder of the categories, or do you know what you're taking?
Oh, well, Jeremy, do you want classics or you want to go 90s? Because I know 90s is very in your wheelhouse. So
I'm thinking classics.
okay, we'll take classics.
Yeah.
All right. Bill, you are older than I am. So, and also I already asked the questions, which would have been a better and more flattering reason to give for you reading these questions.
All correct statements.
I'll have
Judgment
you
City.
take these questions.
Judgment City. If you are ready for your questions and classics.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I apologize for any name butchering in advance. At what type of location did Marcia first meet Lonesome in A Face in the Crowd?
Jail.
Okay.
Yeah, it's jail. She's in jail. Jail, final answer.
Jail is correct for 2 points.
And before anyone says anything, the document explicitly
Apparently, we
says
also would have
prison is
accepted
also
prison.
acceptable.
To be fair, I do think it is technically jail.
Yeah, I think it was a local thing. Yeah, but
Yeah. Because
Your
he's
next
out there
question.
like a
We're just covering the
Yeah.
bases.
That's
Next question, Bill.
We're going to move
ready
on.
to challenge that.
no.
Your next question. In which classic film will you find prisoners by the name of Noah Cullen and John Joker Jackson?
Is that the Defiant ones?
Yeah, that's right. Go for it.
The Defiant ones, final answer?
That is correct for 2 points. All right. Your third question. Who plays Marion Starrett in Shane?
Oh, that's
Jean Arthur?
Jean Arthur, yeah.
Jean Arthur, final answer.
That's correct for 2 points. Your penultimate question. Who directed 1960's The Magnificent Seven?
John Sturgis, right?
Yeah, John Sturgis.
John Sturgis, final answer.
That's correct for 2 points.
And we are in a situation where if Judgment City hits this question for 2 points, they will win by a knockout.
Okay.
All right. Your final question. What is the name of Bill Sykes's dog in Oliver?
Do you know this?
No, I haven't. I haven't read or watched the Oliver Twist story in a while.
I also don't know this, so we're not getting the knockout. Let's go.
No knockout.
All right.
5.
All right. Your multiple choice options are A, Bullseye, B, Thunderbolt, C, Tugger, or D, Pinter.
I feel like maybe it's C, but
Yeah, C or D was standing out to me. Let's go C.
okay. C final
C,
answer.
final answer.
C is incorrect. Law deal for a 1 point steal. Your options are A, Bullseye, B, Thunderbolt, C, Tugger, or D, Pinter.
I think B or D probably.
I was going to go Thunderbolt. I think it's a pretty good
Okay,
dog name.
Thunderbolt, final answer.
Is also incorrect for Bullseye.
Oh.
What none of us were thinking.
Yeah.
All right. So
That's a
at
horse.
the end of round number 2, I have Judgment City at 24, Law Deal at 15. Is that what you have, Bill?
That's what I have.
All right, then we're going to get into round number 3. Round number 3 is our Pick Your Poison round. The way this round is going to work is our competitors will have the chance to choose from different categories for what they want for a 1, 2, 3, and 4 point question. The categories they can choose from today are Oscars, recent releases, Denzel Washington, coming of age / teen, animated, war, crime, and the 2000s. So we will let our competitors choose what they want for their 1, 2, 3, and 4 point questions, and we'll be right back. And we are back. Our competitors have had the chance to choose what they want for their 1, 2, 3, and 4 point questions. Judgment City has chosen their 1 in Denzel Washington, their 2 in animation, their 3 in Oscars, and their 4 in recent releases. Whereas Law Deal has chosen their 1 in 2000s, their 2 in Oscars, their 3 in recent releases, and their 4 in coming of age / teen. So we will start with Law Deal, who is behind, and they will need to hit nearly all of their questions in order to catch up and avoid the TKO. Bill, I will have you read Law Deal their questions, starting with Jacoby for 1 point in the category of 2000s.
Okay, Jacoby, if you are ready for your 1 pointer.
Yes.
What 2004 biopic focuses on the life of Howard Hughes?
The Aviator.
That's correct for 1 point. All right.
And from this point on, they must hit every question in order to avoid the TKO.
No pressure. So here we go. Scott, if you're ready for your 2-pointer in the category of Oscars. Which acting Oscar was the only one not won by network for films released in 1976?
Best actor.
And your winners by way of technical knockout, Judgment City. We were looking for best supporting actor.
Yeah, they gave him actor for one scene. But yeah,
so we will go to post-match interviews now, starting with our unfortunate second place finishers. We will bring in your manager, Kirk. Guys, just couldn't pull it out at the end there. I think round one was what really did it. They built up quite the lead, and then even with getting your strength, it just never really came through. Still, 16 points in 2 rounds is something that most teams would be very, very happy to do, but against Judgment City, it just wasn't enough. Thoughts on the match you had?
Yeah, at the start there, we were kind of neck and neck. It was pretty exciting for like a little bit, and they just kind of pulled away and then, Boatman obviously got 11, and Jeremy got 8 or 9, or I don't know what he got. He got a lot. But we hung in there for a little bit, and then we had some fun other ways. We knew what this was going to be going into it, but it was better than our last match, so we're going to keep improving.
Yeah, I'll take the blame, not just because I missed the last question, but I was writing in purple marker tonight as a tribute to my alma mater, Furman University, who made it to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 43 years this week. So that was our miracle points for this week. I used up all of our miracles for this week when that happened. So I think we didn't stand much of a chance, probably. Wish we could have at least made it to the 4. That's my bad. Again, Peter Finch was in like 2 scenes and they gave him best actor, but I mean, he was in more than that, but it was just the 1 scene, really. But sure. Anyway, we'll come back stronger. This obviously isn't indicative of what we can do, but against normal competition, I think we'll be fine.
These guys, it came down to 2 or 3 questions in round 1 that we were just unlucky, and you guys both missed it. They both hit. I think either one of you get a couple of those there. I think it's a completely different game. And they got spinner. You all got your strength, but they got spinner's choice, and that kind of sealed it. A lot of just a few bad bounces here. They're a great team, but I think we all know that you two are going to be more competitive than this moving forward. Just got some stuff to work on. I think I think this will qualify you for the tournament. I'm not sure, but if so, we'll be ready for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So with this, I am not sure when we will see you again. We for sure will see you again. You still have a win under your belt. But until then, unfortunately, there's no information I can give you because I do not make the schedule and don't know what's happening. So we will say goodbye to Law Deal, and we'll bring in tonight's winners, Jeremy Adams and Kaleb Boatman. Judgment City. Guys, that was a very, very strong performance. I think combined between the 2 of you, only 2 questions were missed, 1 in round 1 and 1 in round 2. Otherwise, incredible match. You guys played very well. Thoughts on the match you just played?
I feel great because I just feel like we had, you know, maybe just a couple hiccups in the first match, and I just feel like we're in our second match here and we're firing on all cylinders. Even, you know, when it came to missing the question in round 2, I think with picking classics helped because it was something they're less likely to steal than if we had picked 90s. So that gave us a little more of the so it's like every little choice that we made there really kind of paid off. And you know, when you factor in these are 2 really good players, you know, they did good overall, and they got spinner's choice, and we were still able to just do what we needed to do there, and that feels good. And yeah, it's a good feeling when you're starting to get into that chemistry zone that I was kind of talking about before.
Yeah, no, I feel really good about this. Jeremy's a great freaking player, and it is so great to play with him. And yeah, today the chemistry was just, not that it wasn't great the first time, but today was just like electric. Like we were just on point conferring on those classics questions, I feel like. And yeah, I feel really good about how we played. But you know, Law Deal, they're a great team.
Great team.
Yeah. Good job to them. But yeah, feel really good about how we played.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with me, as I just stated, being the man who is 100% definitely in charge of the Movie Melee schedule and knowing exactly where you're going next, I believe that next you are playing the ferocious team of 2 guys who like movies. I know that's not very descriptive, but it describes, I believe, 95% of the teams currently playing in Melee. So, thoughts on playing 2 guys who like movies?
There are some good 2 guys out there that know a lot, those guys. So, you know, we're going to be ready to take those 2 blokes and do whatever we have to do, because I've heard stories about what they know. So,
yeah, we don't know exactly what's in store for us, but, you know, I think that no matter what happens, I think we're going to give whoever we play next a big challenge. And I feel really great about how we played tonight. Yeah, feel really good.
Absolutely. Well, with that, we will say farewell to Judgment City, and we will go to final thoughts on the match. Bill, final thoughts on the match we just saw.
Yeah, good match, both teams. I know it's a bit of a snake bitten luck for Law Deal, and yeah, Judgment City's looking pretty terrifying because they are a well-oiled machine. So it's going to be a tough road for a lot of other people. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Law Deal putting in a good performance, but Judgment City putting in a performance that I think can confirmably be described as terrifying if you are anyone on the other side of it. But with that being said, we will say farewell to this match. So I have been Cameron Holzman, and on behalf of Bill Carriola, Scott Harvey, Jacoby Bancroft, Kirk Kolakowski, Jeremy Adams, and Kaleb Boatman, as well as everyone here at Multiplex Movie Melee, thank you for watching. Have a great whatever time of day it is you are watching this. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Later. I'll be right here.
After you, Junior. You'll always have Paris.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
You've been taken care of.
Bye.